It's April 14th. Welcome to Technology Drop-In Thursday. We have a few items in here. And for those of you that are Apple users, I hope there's more than just me. Apple threw down some interesting software I'm going to talk about. So I'll leave that for last, but let's get into the fun stuff. Last week, we talked about booking schedules in Google Calendar. So Google Calendar used to have appointment slots. The booking schedule that we talked about allows you to have a booking page. So you set up your schedule, you go in and say, here's when I'm going to be available, and people can actually fill it out and book an appointment. And then they can choose to meet with you. But I mean, it depends on how you set it up, but you can say, we're going to use Google Meets, we're going to use Zoom, we're going to use a phone call. You can kind of set that up. And so to get access to that on the McEwen calendars, or actually any calendar, we might still have appointment slots. So you can go to appointment schedule, but sometimes you need to go over to here into the admin side first. And in the settings, down here where it says appointment schedules, you have to turn this flag on. So that there. So that'll take it from appointment slots and put you into the new appointment schedules. If you've been using slots before, it'll just keep that schedule there. But going forward, this gives you, as I mentioned before, a nice booking page where people can fill it out. You can have some extra fields in there and stuff like that. Again, this does not sync with Outlook. This would be good for faculty that maybe want to set up office hours with students. If you are internal, obviously anyone internally would just use the scheduling appointment, or sorry, the scheduling assistant in Outlook to do that. These things are more for external and that kind of stuff. And I did mention also Calendly is another product that McEwen has signed off on. You can find a link in the Help Center that will automatically take your information and put it in your Outlook calendar. It's intended for external use. So if you've got, external clients or whatever that are constantly trying to book an appointment, that's a great tool to do that in. So that is Google Calendar appointments. Using mobile view with Microsoft Word files. So I hear someone clicking and banging there, so I'm just going to mute everyone. Just give me a sec here. Here we are. Mute all. One of the things I love about Google Docs, like we see right here on the screen, is this showing up on your screen? Oh yeah, there it is the fact that it's mobile friendly. So if I was to take this same link and open it up in a mobile device, it would automatically wrap it, make it nice and neat. And instead of trying to fit everything in there, it would just wrap it all down. So if you've looked at a PDF, PDFs are not mobile friendly. And that's why you see the whole document and you have to zoom in. And by default, same thing goes with Microsoft Word. So if you are posting, let's say you've got something in OneDrive or SharePoint and you posted it to Blackboard, or you send a link out to somebody that you expect them to have in mobile, what would happen is they would open up this link, and assuming you had OneDrive available, it would open up in OneDrive. And you can see it's kind of like a snapshot of the whole picture. Now you can't see it down here very well. I'm going to open screen here a bit, but there at the bottom there, it says open this in Word. So this, like I mentioned, it opens this up in OneDrive or a preview. I click on this, it will then go and open up in Microsoft Word. The problem though, is this is still not a mobile friendly view. As you can see there, it's really tough. So at the very top of Microsoft Word on your mobile device, there is this little icon up here that looks like, guess what? A mobile device. And when you click on that, it then wraps it properly. And then you can just scroll up and scroll down. So you don't have to zoom in. You don't have to do anything else. It's all there in a format that's really easy to see. Ideally, Microsoft should be smart enough to go, hey, you're on a mobile device. Let's take you right into the mobile view so we can see it. But for whatever reason, it's a two-step process. And a lot of people don't know about, hang on, I'll go back here a second, about this mobile view. You'll notice once I switch to mobile view, you have this other view, it's called layout view, that would take me back. So I can switch back and forth, but it seems kind of silly to me that, by default, Microsoft doesn't allow you to do that. I mean, that's just kind of silly, but that's what Microsoft does. Oh, righty. Oh, this is a good one. So let me just pull over Microsoft Teams. So if you work in Microsoft Teams at all and you store files in here, the default is that when you go open up a document, so here I've got Trev's Tech Tips and there's the channel here, we've got files, and this, of course, connects to the SharePoint site. And here's a file, and when I click on it, what it does is it opens it up right in Teams. Now, Microsoft's trying to push this whole, oh, Teams is the answer to everything. You can do all the work you need to do here in Teams. Well, but if I'm working with someone on a document, I'm going back and forth, I've lost my chat. Now I have to hit the back window to go back to where the chat is and go off in there. So what you can do is if you go under the settings here, the 3 dots, you can actually, for your files, and these are for Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, but you can choose where to open them. So you can say, hey, you know, even though it's in Teams, I want it to open up in the desktop app, or I want it to open up in a separate browser window. So that here I am in Teams. I'm just going to move my window around a little bit. Here I am in Teams. I'm now going to open up this document, and there it is. It opens up in the other browser, and there I still have my Teams here that I can still chat on and do the work here. To me, this makes more sense for me, because that way I can keep that 2 screens open. Because the problem is if you go to your posts and stuff, and then you have to go back into files and that, if it's like a multiple level, I've seen it where I've had to go back down 3 folders or stuff to get back there. Because when I hit files, it starts at the top level. So that gets kind of a pain in the butt to keep going down 3 levels, go back to my chat. So yeah, that setting there is a really handy one. I love that. I just, I think that, not sure when they updated that, but to me, that's such a time saver. Okay. Oh, Teams recording auto expiry. If you've been recording meetings, you would have seen it last week. You might even see it. You'll see it this week in the chat, but you'll see the video that gets posted in the chat will come with this little thing here that says this recording is set to expire. We talked about this. Microsoft announced this a few months ago. We've talked about it before, but basically what Microsoft is saying is that, hey, we know that most people only use that recording for 3 months. After that, that video gets forgotten. So rather than clog up everything, what they've said is we're going to set an expiry, a 90-day expiry to it. And so when you click on the expiry date here kind of stuff, you should open up the actual window of that file. So here, I'm just going to pop over here for a second. So here's a meeting I did yesterday. This only applies to meetings, but in the meetings here, I can go and click on get details here for this file. Come back. There it opens up there, and take a look down here. Here's the expiry date. I can go into here and then I can extend it. So by extended, it means we already have 90 days. You could extend it by another 30 days. You can extend by 60 days. Pick a date or just say no expiration. To get around that, you can also just take this file and move it to a different folder. Okay, this is only only applies from what I've seen in the recordings folder. I typically, for the recordings that I do for these drop-ins, will rename it and I will upload the copy of that into Stream. So it's, you know, I've made a copy of the file somewhere else. So if you happen to delete it anyways, not a big deal. I've got it saved in Stream. But for your, you know, kind of one-on-one meetings, you know, I wasn't there last week. Can I just see what happened? This is fine. Leave the expiry date. Let it get rid of the stuff, because otherwise it just sits there and does nothing. Another thing too is when you click on that update the files here, it brings you to this view. So the video view directly. Whoops, quiet, stop. And then up in the top here is the same eye. You can just go in there for your details and you can change your expiry date. Cool. Google data and privacy. Now it includes a transfer link. So if you go in the Help Center, there's an article I wrote there. Google Takeout allows you to download all your files. So if you're leaving the institution, university, you can say, I want to download all my email. I want to download all my Google Drive files, and it will download them as Microsoft Word documents, but it will download them so you have copies of them. You can also go into here and start a transfer. And what this is going to do is transfer your email and your Google Drive files to another account. Now, I'll do some more testing on it, because at one time it used to actually transfer. Now it's saying copy and transfer. So I'm not sure if it means copy and transfer your email or if it does it to Google Drives as well. The thing being, though, is you can point to your personal Gmail account or another Google account, and then after you've done your verification, you select what content. So do you want your Google Drive stuff? Do you want your Gmail? Do you want your photos? All the Google products. And you can pick and choose and get those things moved over as well. So, as you're, if you're leaving the institution, or even if you just want a backup, that's a good way of doing it too. And I'm going to play around more with that. So as I'm working on a document for leaving MacEwan. So as we flush that out, I'll make sure that we update that. All right, fun stuff. For those of you that are using Zoom, Zoom now offers avatars, which basically means instead of having to download special software like our friend Scott does, Troy does, then we can go in and actually within Zoom, you can make yourself into a chipmunk or a raccoon or whatever you want. So I personally don't use Zoom that much, but if you're, for those of you that do and you want to play around with that, that's new technology. So, oh, there's something in the chat. Let me just take a quick look here. Anything I need to worry about? Come on, chat. Oh. We'll talk about that later, Troy. So Apple just released iMovie Magic, which basically they've updated iMovie, and they've created this product that you can go in and choose your videos and photos and then say, make me a movie. And it uses its artificial intelligence to go through and do all that. So let me just do a quick screen share and pull this up. I love the fact that I can still be connected on Teams here, and then I can go in and, come on, there it is, join in on my device here without having to transfer to it. So it's like two things, but only one camera and one screen are being used. So let me just wait till it gets up here. And can you guys see the screen? It says, oh wait, hang on, maybe I should do the second step, which is sharing. Okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Here we go. There we go. And just zam. Yep, there we are. Okay, so this is on my device. And so basically when you go into a movie now, down the bottom, there's three choices there, Movie Magic, Storyboard, and Movie. So Movie Magic goes in, it basically analyzes all the video, and then tries to make this nice little video here and sync it all up and gives you this this nice video. So you don't have to spend any time trying to match, is this the right graphic? I only want 1 second out of this 3-second video, that kind of stuff. So it goes through and it puts together a movie for you. And it kind of makes choices for you and stuff like that. There's another product out there called Quick, which is used with GoPros, but you can use it for other stuff. I think Quick still has a bit of an edge on what this is. This is very simple, and if you don't want to play around with stuff, it's great for putting that together. It's still a little rough because it is the first draft of it. But if you were to look at the Quick video, which does pretty much the same thing, but there are some nice features that are in there. And one of the nice features is that unlike the Apple side of things, when I go in, where's my media? There's my media. Come on, where'd it go? It was, oh, here it is. So what it's going to do here is it's going in and it's got different dissolves. You can see how the graphics look a little nicer. It will do all sorts of colors and stuff. And I can go and edit it a lot nicer. One of the things that's really handy about it is that when I go and use Quick, if I say mute this one piece of video, I have the option of muting all the video and just using the background music that comes with it. iMovie is great. It has some good purposes or good times for the good points to it. It's still pretty rough. Quick is $12 a year. And, it's really easy. I find it a little bit easier than video. I suspect in about 6 months' time, iMovie will catch up because they're pretty much copying what Quick's got done there. One of the other nice things about it is, in addition to doing those movie magics, is something called Storyboard. And Storyboard basically is, hey, I'm going to create this 30-second or whatever commercial or something like that. And you basically are gone through the steps where as it creates these different spots and titles and that, Apple says, hey, here's a good place for a close-up video. Here's a good place for a distance video. Here's a good place for acupuncture. And here's a good place for whatever. So you can match your video clips to their suggestions. You can put in these titles and stuff like that. And then it goes through that whole process. So I'm just going to I'm not going to play the sound and stuff, but just so you get an idea. So it said, show us a distance shot, show us a close-up shot, then throw in a title screen, and it walks you through all that, which is really kind of cool. So there are good points and bad points to each one. That's it. Any questions on anything I've covered here? Okay, don't leave yet. I'm just going to stop the recording here.